Welcome back to Rob Loves Arguing. We'd like to thank our lead-in, Candace. I hope you guys checked out the latest Candace Owens show. I appreciate her being our lead-in. We're here again. Let me just say right off the rip, I'd like to say hello to my co-host, the one, the only, Daniel, the Anchor Sanker. What's happening, Daniel?
What up?
I'm test driving that nickname for you. Has anyone ever called you the Anchor in your life before?
Maybe. I used to get the insulting one, which was dumb, was like canker, like a canker sore.
Wow, that's a stretch.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Thank Christ there was nobody in your class named Erpy. That is, yeah, wow, canker.
I also did not,
stretch.
at the time that I was called it, I did not know what a canker sore was. So.
Well, it's not even like canker sore. Canker's the inside the mouth one, right? Like that's
Yes.
like when you got the little guy inside your mouth. You like bite your cheek or something.
Something like that.
Isn't
I don't really know the
your
science.
cheek disease.
I don't know the science behind it, to be honest. I just know it's a weird, cysty-looking thing on your inside of your mouth.
Got it. Okay. Well. From what I always understood, I got canker sores when I was a kid. I think I was always told that was I bit my cheek.
Yeah, I've had them.
Yeah, a little mouth blister, I guess. But anyways, well, I like Anchor. I think Anchor is a positive. I mean, it could be, listen, size-wise, it could be looked at negative. But
yeah.
I think like anchoring things is nice.
I take it as I'm the anchor that holds this podcast where it is.
That's exactly what I was going for.
Good.
And the size thing. Both of them. But let's handle some news real quick before we get into the episode. End of an era. Finally. The last time. I'd say this is reminiscent to when, of course, I'm talking about the war in Gaza being over. In the end, and this being the end of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, I look at this as Friday the 13th 9, where the director does everything he can to kind of show you, is like, we are killing Jace. This is done. We are no longer visiting this franchise. This series is over, and Freddy grabs the mask and drags him to hell with him. And then, so what I'm trying to say is, the next thing will be Israel and Palestine in space.
Jason X.
It'll be Palestine X in space. I think it's not. I don't think we have another. Mark my words. Can we? We should get a. That should be like a. Like, you know, in like sports betting, on sports shows, it'd be like my lock of the week. It'd be Rob's lock of the week. We've heard the end of this Israel-Palestine stuff. That's over with, I'm pretty sure. I think that'll be the last time they have a flare-up over there. But anyway, until space is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that also suggests that, like, not only will they have a flare-up, but in, like, 10, 20 years, whatever it is, it'll restart because somebody thinks they have a new take on it.
Yeah, we'll have to reboot it.
Yeah.
And then I think, and then we'll get the original Bibi Netanyahu back in the first one, but then eventually, they'll replace whoever the Hamas guy is. Shouldn't that tell you everything? Like, you know what I mean? When you're like discussing the issue, shouldn't it just tell you everything you need to know right off the bat that you don't know the name of the Hamas guy? Like, doesn't that show you the disparity in power a little bit? That the Hamas guy's just Hamas?
Or he's more sneaky.
Yeah, he's probably also dead. Like, they probably also, the head guy dies probably a lot, whereas the head of Israel doesn't often get bombed as often, I imagine. Anyways, it is going to be, like, obviously it's the end of the conflict, but there is a long, arduous road ahead. You know, the devastation in Gaza is great. There's really, people are going home, but what are they going home to, really, I suppose, is the ultimate question. There's been a lot of inspirational videos of people, like, day one just start, like, what do you do, right? You're not going to, you come home and your house is rubble. You're not just going to let it be rubble. You're going to start, day one, you start picking out the pieces. You start moving things out, you know? And, like, seeing these people have to rebuild now an entire civilization, is like, that's not the end of the death, obviously. There's still going to be famine. Food is getting in, but I think they already closed the Egyptian border. So, and it's just going to be, still going to be a slow trickling of death and disease. However, Gaza is about to become the greatest trade school in the entire planet. What these people are going to learn. Like, I will, in 20 years, the next podcast like this is going to have all this light. It's all going to be Palestinian. It is going to be kids from Gaza who had to figure out how to light their 1-bedroom bunker that they have. Like, they're going to have to live in those tunnels now. Like, there's really nothing left. They're going to figure out, they're going to be the first people to live the fully, like, furnished tunnels.
Live underground.
They're going to have to be entirely underground people, which, by the way, I'd say through the trauma, probably not, you know what I mean? Like, so when I wake up in the morning, I go outside and I see the sky and I go, oh, that's nice.
Sure.
The sky that's always treated me so well. You know what I mean? The worst the sky's really ever done to me is rained on me. Maybe it snowed.
Son of a bitch sky.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst the sky's ever done to me. Occasionally in Gaza, the sky kills you, right? Sometimes you go, oh, good morning, world. And you look out and you go, is that the sun? Look how, and then it's, in fact, death that's visited you. And so I could see how if you came from that atmosphere, the tunnel life might seem appealing afterwards. Mm-hmm. And truthfully, tunnel life is going to come here at some point. I mean, people are already living in tunnels. It's just, I think the luxury that they're going to have to figure. Yeah. I'm not saying off day one, obviously.
You've looked into renting a tunnel yourself.
I am currently looking at renting a $2,000 a month tunnel. I'd run a business out of the tunnel. They could have tunnel markets. You know what I mean? Like, and what a great way of just going, like, nothing to see here. We're not doing well at all. You know what I mean? You keep all the commerce underground, away from the... You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I think it's a good idea. But I'm telling you right now, if they can put that country back together, you will be hiring a one-armed Palestinian plumber. Like, it'd be the best, you know what I mean?
You know what? People underrate tunnels, but I went to the tunnels in Vietnam, I was on a trip there, and they showed us the war tunnels and stuff. And, like, you look at the tunnels, and then you go out that night while Vietnamese people sing karaoke and you drink weird beer. Tunnels can really turn things around.
Tunnels can work.
Yeah.
And again, you know what this city could use? Listen, how many, what was the immigration numbers last year? You're telling me some of those people wouldn't like some nice tunnels? It's better than the parks. It's parks or tunnels. This is a tunnel country. I mean, if you really think about it, this is a tunnel country. We have, 4 nice months of the entire year in Canada?
True.
We should really be tunnel-based. Why are all the nice tunnels in climates with perfectly acceptable outsides? Vietnam, do you need to be inside a tunnel? No. They have nice outside in Vietnam. I would love it. Do you know what we do when we got to go to Union Station? I don't want to overly disclose where I live, but if it's chilly out, if it's raining, we use the Path, which is an underground series of stores and whatever that run through the city of Toronto, kind of like tunnels. I don't know how many bubble teas they have in the Vietnamese tunnels, but they've got a lot of them in our tunnels. I would hazard there's more Vietnamese business going on in our tunnels than their tunnels in Vietnam. So why is all the tunnel business here and none of the tunnel living?
We prefer a business tunnel. That's just what we prefer.
Yeah, I think it's time.
We have to get used to it.
Well, listen, we had the Industrial Revolution, and if you look along Spadina over here in Toronto, a lot of these spaces were big. Used to be factories for sewing and the textile industry, And then at some point, they got converted to lofts, right? I think it's time we convert the tunnels to housing.
Honestly, if it was cheap enough, I would not have a problem with living in a tunnel.
I mean, you got to just give me an exceptional tunnel. That's all I'm saying. Like, and can you do a skylight? Add some natural lighting into the tunnel. I don't know. I'm not fucking Frank Gehry over here, but it will be funny. None of this will happen because there's not a chance we allow them to rebuild things themselves. We will rebuild it for them and then charge them for it, a bill that they will never pay. But what will be really funny is to watch the home renovation shows that rush to Gaza to try to help with that, to try to make the content. I can't wait to watch Queer Eye Gaza.
No, you mean you're calling it Queer Eye. That's very rude. You mean the Property Brothers?
Sorry, yeah, no.
Are they gay?
I can't.
Both those brothers?
I'm pretty sure I can't legally get into this too heavy.
Oh, okay.
But let's just say they should be called the Double Team Brothers. They should be called the Eskimo Brothers, but that are actually brothers. How do you say, what's the term for Eskimo brothers, but that are actually also, in fact, brothers?
Eskimo Brothers.
The
EBBs.
Yeah.
You shorten it for EBBs.
And I do apologize to the Inuit community for but really, don't you want that to die there? You know what I mean? Like, if you were an Inuit person, don't you want me to still call that Eskimo Brothers? Like, you don't want that to come with the wokeness, like the fucking the same lady thing. Can't fucking the same lady as another person still be Eskimo Brothers? Because you don't want to be an Inuit Brothers.
No, and also, well, I don't think they would push for, like, the offensive part is that you're using the wrong word. I still want to be known for us also fucking. Are you Eskimo Brothers?
Why?
If you double team a girl?
Well, you would be because you're fucking the same person.
Yeah,
so, like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind
mean,
of a
there should be
cheat.
a more aggressive term for that. Like, there should be an extra level to that, but you would be, by default, technically, you're an Eskimo brother because you're fucking the same person at the
That's
same
what I'm saying.
time.
Yeah.
So, but Inuit Brothers sounds like a fur trading company. You can't, you can't call it Inuit Brothers. But why were the Eskimos doubled with trade? I guess there's just not a lot of ladies up there.
They have a rich culture. It's,
Is that what it is? There's just no women? Because I've heard this, that, like, there's no women in Alaska. Like, all the women move because they're like, well, fuck all this.
Yeah.
Why would we do this? So they leave, and so there's, like, this really dearth of women in Alaska. So you have to just trade the women around each other, I guess, is the point? Is that why it's Eskimo Brothers? Can we find an etymology? Is that is that what we call it, an etymology with this?
edamame.
Ah, got it. I thought that was Vietnam. My bad.
No.
Edamame is a perfect tunnel food.
It is. Yeah.
I can see sitting down in a
squirrel it
nice.
away.
Well, because it's a food you could eat cross-legged.
Right.
You gotta start planning a lot of your life in the future cross-legged. There's not going to be a lot of room for standing up in the future, but.
The term Eskimo Brothers was popularized by the TV show The League and originated in the early 1990s with writer Jeff Schaefer, who likely heard it from Billy Kimball. Wow, this is going back and forth.
I mean, they've really done a fucking...
Yeah, it was AI.
And I don't even think they're right. I feel like there's no way The League started... First of all, I don't think The League was on in the 90s.
No. I think the AI is terrible. It's basically saying the League popularized it to make it really popular, which is not true because it was popular when I was young.
Yeah.
So none of that is true. The original inspiration likely came from a misconception or hoax about Inuit and Aleut, which I guess is similar to an Inuit.
That's what Inuit girls are called.
Oh, okay. Cultural practices of hospitality involving spouse exchange. So there's a false belief
Hospitality, okay.
that due to hospitality, there's a lot of wife exchange in the Inuit culture, but that is incorrect. But because of that incorrect narrative, the term Eskimo Brothers came out.
So it's kind of a compliment.
Yes.
Like, it's sort of like going, you're so nice you'd let me fuck your wife. Like, it's sort of a, like, man, you're nice.
That's the nicest thing I can think of.
I mean, it's certainly community, I guess. That's the definition of community, I suppose. All right, yeah. I just assumed it was because they had to pass them around a lot, but that's interesting to find out. But anyways, I would leave that with Eskimo. I would say if there was a derogatory term, why don't they do this? This is a smart way of handling anything like this. If there was this is the perfect example, really, but if there was something like Eskimo Brothers, where it's like you felt like it was a negative thing about it, leave that Eskimo, but you're Inuit, so it has nothing to do with you after a little bit. Because who's going to keep saying Eskimo? They rarely come up. I have to say, as a group, I understand that there's probably feelings that you're maligned and whatever. Honestly, we don't think about you at all. You're way up there. Like, you're kind of not our concern for the most part. I wish you well. All the best. It's not I have no ill will towards the community. It's just rarely does I had to really dig for Inuit in my head when this whole sort of thing started on this line of whatever.
Do you think there's more Eskimo brothers or more Eskimo sisters in the world?
Well, I suppose you'd probably have to, like, if our understanding is that promiscuousness. Anyways.
Promiscuous girl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A Canadian icon. Timbaland. We have to wear them. What the fuck are we talking about? I would think that it would lean men more promiscuous. I would assume that would be the idea. So then, by the very statistics of that, you would have to assume there would be more Eskimo sisters, because of men on average would have had more sexual partners than women. Then,
that's correct.
Yes.
Right? That's exactly what I was thinking.
Or are we really stupid and this has to be 50-50? No, because if they're more... No. Yep. Final answer.
I was also being rude, thinking that more women, to get back at their men, fuck their friends, their boyfriends' friends.
Is probably a lot more... Yeah, I mean, if we're dividing this into subcategories of oopsie Eskimos and vengeful Eskimos... Vengeful Eskimos is
way higher.
The women's sector of vengeful Eskimos those are the ones, the Eskimos that are killing whales and making makeup out of it and doing all the stuff that we sort of are like, I wish they didn't do all that, but we let them because whatever, that they've always done it, blah blah blah, whatever. But those ones, the ones you'd name like a football team after, whatever, those ones are women. The sort of oopsie doops, like, this is just what there is, man. What do you want me to do? I'm an Eskimo. Man, I really hope we haven't decided to really make Eskimo mean more culturally, because I've said that. I've said it a lot this episode. There's no way to demonetize you for Eskimo, right? Not that we were monetized in any way whatsoever, but...
I don't think their lobby is as big as other lobbies.
It was just kind of my whole point with we don't think about you that much, is that, like... I could see somebody in the offices of, what's the company called? Alphabet? Is that what owns Google and whatever? Just being like, oh, fuck, Eskimos, we completely forgot. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of woke lists go, God damn it, Eskimos. All right.
Well, I do think that, because it's funny as you say that. I was just reading a Reddit where the Reddit being
r/Eskimo?
No, r/AskGayBrosOver30.
Sure.
What's the new PC way to say Eskimo brothers?
Okay.
A lot of suggestions. Mostly jokes.
You can feel an earnest one out, though. Give me one earnest one. Like somebody who really, like, actually...
Oh, wow. I mean, couldn't be more apropos. Tunnel buddies.
Tunnel buddies is all right, yeah.
I don't get it, but just the fact that we were talking about tunnels so much.
Yeah. Well, I get it. It's a tunnel. I mean, it's not...
Yeah, if you're
Good Lord, Sanker. I mean, you should, put that together. But, yeah, tunnel buddies. That's the company we're going to start. We're gonna redo all the tunnels into condominiums and call it tunnel buddies.
Tunnel buddies.
But all right, that's all the news. They're done. All that's done,
Yep.
and they're gonna live in the tunnels.
Problem solved.
I mean, listen, you built all these fucking tunnels. You might as well use them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what they should do? They should do the reverse. All the people of Hamas, because, right, all the things that Israel always says, like Hamas is hiding into tunnels and all the kids are upstairs in schools and stuff and they use the kids as human shields. Israel should make a rule. All the women and children have to live in the tunnels and go to school in the tunnels, in the hospitals or in the tunnels. And then Hamas gets the outside, so that if a bomb goes, like, then they're the only casualties. Mm-hmm. So all the militants get to run around and just go to train and, like, you know what I mean, do outside activities all day. Hoops, they could play hoops, or whatever. Cricket. I don't know. Is that a cricket culture? But anyways, they can do that, and then all the innocent people are in tunnels. Anyways, so continuing our beef with Marc Maron this week, they're coming. Sorry, we found a couple people in tunnels. Continuing my never-ending feud with Marc Maron, he doesn't know he's in yet. Like, what a cherry on top! Like, is there just no self-awareness in this man left whatsoever to go on this constant fucking nobody, why are they talking to Joe Rogan, and why are these people talking to Donald Trump, all these guys, this isn't whatever, they're just kissing ass and then he has Obama on again. Like, I would have thought, my pure gut instinct of the hypocrisy in the first place was like, you had Obama on. You didn't talk to him about drone bombings. You didn't talk to him about the fucking people who keep drowning in a foot of water on his property for some reason. Like, every sort of gay guy around Obama keeps tripping into a puddle and dying face first for some reason. You didn't ask him anything about that. You didn't ask him why every hedge fund, Wall Street company in the world pays him $1 million to do speeches after his presidency. You didn't ask him why after his presidency we ended up with Donald Trump, the guy you spend all day complaining about. How does it feel that, like, whatever you did as a president was enough to make everyone swing around and go, you know what, the Apprentice guy might be better? Didn't ask him anything about that. Like, you didn't do any of it the first time that he went around criticizing everybody for being a butt boy, and then you go around and you do the same fucking thing again. And, like, I know he's not the president anymore, but you still had the chance to go, hey, I just had this criticism I've trotted around to all the podcasts for the last 2 months. Maybe if I have the second chance to do the same fucking thing I'm criticizing them for, maybe it's a chance to, like, do it a bit better. Maybe it's a chance to, like, not do all the things I just criticized them for with this person the second time around. Now I have a chance with hindsight and the moral clarity I have when it comes to Tony fucking Hinchcliffe. Like, the moral clarity he can have on creepy little Tony is amazing when he can't have it for himself. It's pretty fucking fantastic. So I haven't watched all of this, but we're going to go sit through. We're going to do a little watch-along podcast today with the Obama, the final episode of Maron. You know what? The final episode of Maron should have been exactly like the final episode of Seinfeld. They should have put him in jail for being fucking rude to everybody and just left him there.
Do you want to watch the whole podcast or just that part?
Like, as much, like, if we can find more of it.
Oh, we can
like,
find more.
Let's just, like, even if we just do clips is fine, but let's just focus whatever amount of time we have left until the call. Let's focus on Mr. Maron, and I can do that aboard another episode.
Sure.
Because that was enough. I mean, I guess I should. I'm glad I spent some time on Gaza. It is kind of a thing.
It seems like it's starting to hit the news, the whole Gaza thing.
Yeah. We're just peeking on it finally. So
yeah. People are finding out, And I'm glad we're early in on this whole Gaza-Israel thing.
Yeah, it's important to break news on shows like this sometimes. So, all right. We're set up to catch the fucking walk. I like that. That's good. Nothing propagandist about this. Sorry.
How you doing?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
We've aged.
Let me turn.
I know. I'm a little hunched over. You look like you're walking okay. How you doing, Mr. President?
It's good to see
It
you.
doesn't seem like
you.
Maron's walking up. Did he
Well,
get hit by a
okay.
car a week
Yeah,
ago?
nice to meet you.
How come he's in a suit?
He's
man?
getting old.
Everything else was in the wash.
Yeah, I know. He's
That's
a
all?
suit guy. Like I had when you were first on, I was like, what am I going to wear? And I'm like, well, I'll just wear the Planet shirt, I guess.
Well,
you're casual.
Yeah, I am because I knew you would be.
Yeah.
Here, I think
Oh,
we're
we're in
going
here?
this way.
I
The,
love people just being regular Joes.
Yeah. Does it not bother Maron at all that Obama's a better conversationalist than him?
Remember my old garage, right?
Yeah,
It's similar.
it's a little neater.
Yeah.
But
Well,
not
I
much.
mean, I get because
rolling on
Maron
both?
has had a podcast for a
Yeah,
long time,
everything's
but
good.
he was
Can I say
Yeah.
before we
very
start, or
highly
sure, no, whenever
voted
you
on
start.
because of his talk
To
ability.
me,
Obama, yeah. And listen, I
can't
liked
imagine
Obama at the time. I'm
anything
not.
tougher or more
No, but I'm just saying,
terrifying
like, it's
than
not like
doing
he's
stand-up
a.
comedy. So
He
once you
was
do
pretty
that,
good, so he's high level. This
I
is
mean,
fair
everything
enough.
else is.
That's fair.
Is easy?
I won't say easy. I'm saying,
Not as frightening.
yeah. To me, standing alone on a stage and hoping a bunch of people laugh at your stuff.
Yeah.
Can I pause for a second?
Yeah.
Standing alone. I love that every fucking walk of life has to pretend like stand up is hard. First of all,
Yeah.
like every fucking job can just come in and be like, oh man, but just standing alone. You know where Obama doesn't seem to have any problem standing alone on stage speaking is in front of massive Wall Street companies accepting $1 million paychecks to talk to them about the bailout he gave them in 2008. For some reason, it just flows out his mouth whenever I just respect what you do. You know how hard it is to try to get a laugh in front of the Lehman Brothers when they're writing you? Did Lehman Brothers go under? Is it bad that I don't know a good
don't know
reference for
enough.
right now? That's tough.
I don't know enough to say that you're wrong on anything. So for the next 40 minutes, if you say anything, I'm just gonna nod my head.
Perfect.
You get used to it,
Yeah.
but not unlike, I'm sure, your gig.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not going to go exactly right.
It's not always gonna. You're not always gonna hit it
That
out of
like
the park.
that's you
But
can you can keep going. It's okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just
Well, I think I'll jump by it. You just
you're-
keep talking.
You're not going to get things exactly right. Is just like, could you imagine Schultz started the Flagrant podcast with Trump by going, "Hey, Mr. Trump, I know you're not always going to get everything right." It's like, it's crazy that this is the man that was criticizing people 2 weeks ago about this shit, and that this is what he put out.
I think this is supposed to be meant more. You remember when James Lipton interviewed? Do I just know this by myself? James Lipton interviewed Chappelle, and then on his last show, he had Chappelle come and interview him or something like that.
Okay.
I think that this is just supposed to be like a fucking cherry on. What's the expression? Cherry on top. Yeah, cherry on top or whatever of the cake or whatever of Marc Maron's career. So it is. He meant it from
Sure.
day one to be fluff. It's just the irony of it coming after his
and it's just,
criticisms.
And if this was the last, by the way, the whole point of it is that he's not doing anything wrong. Like, this is not how you shouldn't, like, this is how you should treat Barack Obama when he comes and does your podcast. Like, I'm not saying don't ask a couple tough questions, but the point is that, yeah, you go have a polite thing and you try to pull what you can out of the situation, but, like, it's not your job to grill him like fucking Meet the Press. Like, can you get, we're humans. The point of comedy is that we make a human connection. Like, when we relate to something to you, we relate to it to you in a human way. And so find out the things that he is as a human to relate to us. The news will handle the news. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't need to find out about tariffs from Theo Von. I'm not going to Theo Von for who to vote on. But, like, if he has him on and I go, oh, that's an interesting human aspect of him I haven't considered.
Yeah.
That's just a factor. Like, I'm not now a conservative all of a sudden because I'm like, oh, Donald Trump loves his kids. Like, it's just silly. This is actually what you're supposed to do. It's just the fact that he went around calling everybody else a Nazi because they did the same fucking thing, and a bootlicker and a fascist because they did the same fucking thing that he's doing. That's what drives me crazy. Sorry, but go ahead.
No, that's okay. I skipped a little ahead because I did listen to large part of this.
Yeah.
I'm just warning you. I skipped ahead because the next 20 minutes that I skipped past is them talking about what do you do when you retire.
Sure.
So we get the gist.
Yeah.
You relax and
You do speeches for weapons manufacturers, Mark. Imagine Marc Maron, that was the whole play here.
That's his next thing.
He's been criticizing Rogan because he's got a Lockheed Martin tour. He's like he's gonna do a USO tour of just plants that build bombs to kill children, and that's where he's gonna go perform.
maybe look, whatever makes money. We said that before this podcast. Whatever makes money. So if Marc Maron can make money off of bombs, then
Absolutely. Just don't say anything about Saudi Arabia. That's all. Just don't have any criticisms of Saudi Arabia of performing in Saudi Arabia if your stance is he's sitting in a room with a guy who bombed a wedding in Yemen. Like that man that he's sitting across, I will say, a fairly homosexual leg cross on Obama. I'm just saying that is the leg cross of a guy who has his personal chefs die in a small pond in his backyard of drowning for some reason. That's what that like. My stepdad was a great man.
Yeah.
When my mom was a scumbag, but when she got cancer at the end.
I know, but it's just a juxtaposition of both next to each other.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, listen, my mom was my mom, but also not even really, but like still, whatever. Listen, we're always just trying to be a better version of our parents, right? And if you looked at my mom's mom, she's a much better version than that. My mom's mom cut her second husband's dick off. So like, my mom came a long way, baby. But point is,
your mom's mom was Lorena Bobbitt?
Pre-Lorena Bobbitt.
Wow.
They should be called a Doris Funston. You want to know a crazy thing about that?
Please.
It was my stepmom that sewed the dick back on.
Amazing.
Not because didn't run over to my stepmom's house. It was a coincidence. We realized years later. But I mean, we don't know 100%, but we did the math on how many dicks sew-on surgeries could have happened in the region at that particular window of time, and it seemed more than likely that it was my stepmom that sewed that dick back on. But the fuck was my stepdad was a closeted homosexual and with leg cross just like this. My stepdad, a spitting image for a white Obama. To be completely honest, he had a real white Obama thing about him, kind of gangly, a little, you know what I mean, and just had that gangliness that could really fit into itself. You see how comfortable he looks with that leg. My legs are crossed right now, but this is what I can. That's the ability to do that comfortably is an odd. He just really is okay being very into on himself.
I just, when I look at him in this image, he's just so thin that I just think that's the most comfortable your body gets.
I thought you were going to say he's so thin he has AIDS because he's a closeted homosexual.
You think, do they say that about him?
That's why they think the chefs might have went bye-bye.
Oh, because they said that
Bye-bye,
about
chefs.
Trudeau, and Trudeau's banging Katy Perry
but
now.
that was just, you have to check the source of where he might be gay is coming from, right? I've heard gay guys say he might be gay, whereas when it comes to Trudeau, it was just dudes who hated Trudeau that were he's long hair, he's fucking gay. We all knew Trudeau pounded pussy. You can just see he was a fucking teacher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trudeau had I pound pussy all over him. There's no mistaking that Trudeau's fucking, you know what I mean?
He's a straight man.
Yeah. But whereas, Obama, much more likely, I would say, a homosexual. Because, again, I trust gay guys on this.
Well, you never know. I can't say I can't say he is or isn't. I never thought about it.
What I would say, you got to think about the wishful thinking in the gay community. I'm not saying Obama's not a handsome man, and I'm not saying that some of that community might not like a black daddy. And they probably appreciate the whole marriage thing. But I would say that would get him some gay ass for sure. By the way, if you wanted to get hot gay ass, be the president that legalized gay marriage. That's
true.
wild. His grinder must be insane. But I do think, though, if you were putting the perfect specimen of gay man together, Trudeau would win. I still think purely aesthetically, they would prefer Trudeau in the gay community. By the way, not like a landslide. Not like how Trump beat Kamala Harris. Not that dramatically. I think it would be, you know what I mean? It would take North Dakota and like Montana to get Trudeau up.
A couple of swing states.
Yeah. No, I'm talking like real rural type shit. You know what I mean? Like those, like Saskatoon is putting Trudeau over because they're not ready to. They're just getting comfortable with their sexuality. They're not really ready to be interracially gay yet.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. It's going to take them a little longer in those communities to try black dick. But, anyways, my point being is that because I think there would be a attractiveness bias towards Trudeau in the gay community, I think they'd be more likely to want to say he's gay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like that bias would push it in that direction, and I've still heard more of them say Obama's gay. Therefore, Obama, you heard it. Rob's Lock of the Week. The Lock of the Week episode.
I'll have to have a swipe sound or something like that.
We need more graphics, just nonsense graphics around me.
Yeah, this show is going to be just like Kramer. You know that money guy Kramer?
Yeah.
Jim Kramer.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we just put like sports scores underneath me scrolling? Like just whatever. Not even just of whatever day. It doesn't really matter. Just go like, oh, the Raptors are up by 3 then.
Well, the most recent unless there's a game on tonight, is the Jays destroying the Mariners last night. So we'll put that up.
Did we win last night?
Oh, yeah. We fucking destroyed them.
I didn't even realize
it was like 13-4 or something like that.
Good.
Or 2 or something. I forget.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get into it because I wasn't into it all season, and I don't want to be a liar.
Yes.
Like, I just don't want to. And I'm a former season ticket holder. It's not like I can't claim that I was whatever, but I feel like jumping on the bandwagon too much.
Yeah.
By the way, I could tell you the whole lineup. I'm just a sports psycho. Like, I really, like, if I'm not, like, fully in, I don't even want to pretend, like, that I'm whatever. So
I agree with that.
But anyways, let's watch more of this fruit and Marin.
that gave people a sense of how somebody could be a good guy, but also have blind spots. Somebody could be, seem like a real jerk, and yet there's this redeeming quality. It's the same sense that you get living in a neighborhood.
Did Mark just previously ask him to describe him to his face?
You go to the soccer game and all the parents just...
I forget. This is when they started talking about the idea of like getting stuck in an algorithm and hating people and not really knowing them, I think. So this is Mark learning about this is the opposite of what Mark actually believes. So this was something I was listening to where I'm like, oh yeah, Mark is definitely not pushing back on something that he's definitely against.
Got you. Okay. Yes. Yeah. That's.
A little bit.
Will I just buffer for a second?
Yeah.
That was perfect. I mean, you were so close. The perfect buffering stuff, like whatever.
I'm going for a whole ass restart.
Do we maybe just put an edit point here?
Sure.
Okay. Here, hold on. I'll be real dramatic, so that when you are watching it, is noticeable.
That's what happened. It disconnected from my internet. Why is that?
Are you on the Wi-Fi?
No, I'm just on my hotspot.
You can go on the Wi-Fi if you want. I just got off of it right now because I thought you were.
Oh, no.
How you doing?
And I'm good. I don't know. Just disconnected from.
We've aged.
Maybe we didn't watch for long enough. So.
I'm a little hunched over. You look like you're walking.
Okay, we can.
That is
Get to
shaking
where it was, and then I'll give
out
you
how
a
to
big
make slop.
dramatic wave.
And it's interesting for me. I said like jerk, and yet
Cool.
Yep. I'll go to 19. Yep.
Cool. All right, I did a big wave again.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
and it turned out that by virtue of meeting in person, you kind of realize people are a little more complicated.
Sure.
Maybe they don't agree with me on everything.
Right.
Maybe they're, and that's a good thing, right?
Sure.
So it creates this friction and this interest, and it forced people to kind of say, all right, well, it turns out that I don't have to agree with everything to work with somebody.
Right.
And then out of those meetings, they'd have to go out and start knocking on doors, and that's the ultimate meetup because now you're forcing yourself to talk to strangers who
It turns
definitely
out
don't agree with you on stuff.
If you get paid by the same people that people you disagree with get paid by, you got to go knock on their door and go, hey, we both get paid for this thing, so we got to whatever. Man, what must be going through Maron's mind? I just want to put myself in Maron's shoes and be like, because let's be honest, listen, me going after Maron, can we cut all the audio and cameras for a second? This is just a conversation between me and you. Clearly this is an idea I have to just kind of rustle up some attention, right? Like I don't even really have that big a problem with Mark. It's just if I pretend like I got this big problem with Mark, that gets attention, and then whatever. It's the same marketing campaign, right? We're back now. And whatever. I hope just to be clear, because it's the first time we're doing that. I don't want you to cut any of that.
Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to double check.
I was
before.
sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, while you're talking, I'm like, now was that a?
Yeah, I wasn't
kayfabe?
even worried about it until I saw that you had pulled the mic pretty far away from your mouth, and I was like, oh damn, he might be falling for this. I might have been too good an actor on this one. Yeah, no, it is. Well, now I've kind of lost the script of where I was, but
What is he? You were saying, what is he thinking in this moment where everything Obama is saying is contrary to how he acts all the time?
And it's like because he knows he's on this marketing campaign. He knows he's on this. He saw the opportunity. He's going, okay, so edgy comedy's had its time on top for about 5 years, which means people start to get naturally tired of it. Also, edgy comedy tends to be on top in times of turbulence, right? Coming out of COVID, it was natural that dark comedy was going to be on top because the closer we are to like dark realities, the more people want their entertainment to sort of reflect the mood and the tenor of the world in which they're living in. And then once things are good again, then it's Dimitri Martin and Isol being like, aren't we silly? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So like our time is coming. Not that the world is getting a little less turbulent, but people will start fading back into their own realities, and we will start going to where edgy comedy will be pushed back under again, and then silly happy comedy. So he sees that. Mark has been in the game a long time. Mark has seen the pendulum swing. This is his third swing, probably at this point, 4 swings. Like he watches this merry-go-round go around every 10 years. He's not stupid. He knows this is a marketing campaign. He's like, listen, this edgy stuff is going to be passé. This point of view is going to be passé, so I need to get ahead of this now, and I need to put myself in place to be the dude for after this wave. Oh, I can be the counter Rogan. I can be, how many times do you think Marc Maron after that last election heard people go, we need a liberal Joe Rogan, and Marc Maron is just punching a pillow somewhere. Like, motherfuckers, I'm fucking right here. I've had a show since 2011. I've been right here. Like, he's got to just be furious about it, right? So, like, he's supposed to be the podcast guy. That was his thing. He was the guy. And then Rogan became the guy. Rogan is the Kleenex of podcasts now. If your parents know what a podcast is, they know what Joe Rogan's is first, and then kind of have the idea off of there. So like he's got to be furious about all that, but he knows that pendulum swings. Maybe I can be the dude standing on the other side. So he's this is a marketing campaign by Maron, and he's watching Obama tell him his marketing campaign is wrong right to his face. Like, it's not even like he might be personally like, of course Maron's heard this. Maron doesn't live in a tunnel in Vietnam. Like, he has television. He's heard this perspective from Obama. This is not the first time he's hearing it, but he is like, hey, this is sort of like my big last episode here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to do the whole me thing here, Brock, and you're sort of blowing it up a bit, you know? Like, it's just sort of like, if you just got into business selling, like if Mark had just got a new coffee line, and Obama starts being like, oh, the negative effects of caffeine on me were really bad.
Yeah.
You know? But anyways, go ahead.
But there was that sense of human interaction.
Yeah.
In all, and that gave people a sense of how somebody could be a good guy, but also have blind spots. Somebody could be, seem like a real jerk, and yet there's this redeeming quality. It's the same sense that you get living in a neighborhood,
Great if he's like,
right?
someone could be a real jerk, but
like,
excellent at
you go to the
jujitsu
soccer
at the
game.
same time. It just gets
Sit around
really
and,
specific.
Some
The
guy.
weird thing I feel
or
about
gal
the whole,
may not
like, not this Marc
be
Maron
your
thing,
cup of tea,
but part of what
but then
I've
you see
always
him
loved
hug their
about
kid and you go,
Marc
"Oh."
Maron or any comedy
you know what?
He's
is
all right.
hating
He's all
on
right.
something
Well,
that I
and
might
that's
even like,
foundational
but
to
know what
democracy
he's
work,
talking
correct.
about.
Sure.
And
So
what happens now
even though I
is
agree
that,
with some of what you
with,
say about
us and
Mark,
them and
I just
with,
like hearing him
all
trash
these social media
things that-
platforms.
I like Rogan, but
you know,
I like
being,
hearing him trash it.
It's just
individuals
It's certainly,
reality.
listen, I'm a Red Bar guy.
So there's no
Like,
conversation.
You
just got people blasting away at your
I'm
face all
trashing
day.
comedy right now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, like I have no issue with holding things that you think maybe aren't the best to account. Just stop calling them Nazi. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Can we do it without it being like you're a fascist? Like, you're a hack. You're a whatever. It's all fine. Like, and I know he says some of that too, but like, it's just shrouded in this like, well, the reason it's not funny is because every time you tell a joke, a trans person dies. You know what I mean? It's just don't participate in that, because I know that that's not real. Like, I have a higher expectation of them. You know, like if this was just some fucking idiot, it would be nothing. But it's like, I know the guy knows it stinks of a marketing campaign to me. That's the whole problem I have with the whole thing, is that he's just seeing himself as, ooh, there's a window here. You know, everybody cleared out of LA. I'm sort of the big guys. Jeselnik's the same shit. It's like, hey, okay, I was the edgy guy. Mm-hmm. By the way, softest hands.
Anthony Jeselnik? That makes sense.
I touched his hand once, bringing him on stage, and it was just like,
Supple.
have you worked a day in your life? Like, how did you manage to keep this so soft?
Yeah. Felt like touching the top of a jelly. What are those things called again? The ocean things?
That was a quick bailout, Sanker. Fuck, I couldn't land it. Make it relatable. But yeah,
jelly. Oh God, it's fish. The word I was looking for was fish.
Like the top of a jellyfish.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. If you're ever touched by Anthony Jeselnik's hand, you have to then piss on it. If Anthony Jeselnik
might
ever
be true.
touches you with his hand,
Yeah.
you have to, again, another fucking, just be gay. But anyways, if we found out that Obama and Anthony Jeselnik were fucking, would that not make the most sense in the entire world? Would that even cause you 87 seconds of pause? To go like, I didn't know, but like somewhere in my gut, I kind of did feel that Anthony Jeselnik, you know what I mean? There would be a part of you that was like, somewhere deep down in a part of me I wasn't ready to access. I kind of knew Anthony Jeselnik and Obama were fucking.
I just would be so disappointed because I respect one more than the other.
I don't even know which one is which. Again, Jeselnik is a funny guy. He's a great joke writer, but the problem is that the moment he wasn't part of the moment. He didn't get to do part of the dark comedy uprising that has taken place in the next, for lack of a fucking less gay way of saying that. Like, he hasn't been a part of that thing. Mm-hmm. So then he goes, what the fuck? Why am I not Shane Gillis? Why am I not Tim Dillon? You know, why am I not Schultz? I'm also a conventionally handsome guy that puts people off sometimes because of the way they look. Like, I'm those things. Why was I not why is the Jeselnik offensive not flagrant, right? And so then he's got to attack, and he's got to try to position himself as, oh, the right wing stuff will stop. Let me be the left wing guy to the whatever. But it was like, no, just be right about some things. Just come out and be right about some things, and you'll be okay. Like, just don't tell us to wear a mask in silly places that we know we don't have to do it. And then afterwards, like, if you were wrong about it, be like, Jesus, I was fucking silly on that one. Don't come out and still call everyone Nazis and whatever. Just be like, I was wrong on some things. But I still think these guys are taking it too far. And here's some funny observations about it. Like, I'm just watching them try to position themselves to be a thing. And that's, like, ultimately what I think bothers me about it. A thing that they had no problem with. They've done Kill Tony. They were on, like, maybe neither of them done Skanks. But regardless, like, they have no problems with being with these people for the longest period of time. But then they disagree with the most mundane of shit. It's like, just stop calling them Nazis.
That's also more, I'll say this, is more New York based, like Skanks. Maron would absolutely do Skanks.
Because he probably would be unaware of any. But would he? Because, like, would he? They wouldn't not have him.
Yeah, but I think he just tends to have less of an issue with the New York guys. Because he used to be the New Yorky LA guy. Like, he would go out to New York and he's friends with Norton.
The tough crowd, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he liked the tough crowd. He'd go on tough crowd, which is why I know that he doesn't believe what he's saying. That's my entire point.
Yeah.
Is he got it then. Like, he knew he could go have a civil conversation with them and discuss these things on a level that were human. He didn't sit across from Jim Norton and be like, you're a Nazi. I mean, maybe he said it about DePaulo, but, you know, I was...
No, and that's a weird... I think he likes DePaulo. I used to listen to his podcast all the time.
Well, they probably would have been friends. I don't know this, but he was friends, and wasn't he roommates with Louis? And DePaulo and Louis were best friends.
Yeah, he was roommates with Louis.
So almost certainly he probably had to, like... He's seen DePaulo in his underwear.
Probably.
Almost without a doubt.
Well,
he has seen Nick DePaulo in his underwear.
Let's not give me a boner.
Yeah. Do you think if he asked nicely enough, he could probably see Obama in his too? We probably don't have a lot more time left. Let's watch.
Sure.
Maybe even just skip to a random point. We kind of got the gist of what he's doing.
Well, maybe we should get to the point that you kind of...
okay. All right. Fair enough.
It's not much farther. Because I did look at my phone when I was
chopped up so that people don't listen to a whole conversation.
On the video, yeah.
On the video and all that stuff.
Oh, Marc Maron's about to pat himself on the back.
There is still, I think, a power in just people listening to conversations if they listen to the whole thing.
Sure.
Sorry, I forgot that I do have to pause this because when I fix this on the video, it plays it way louder. Obama's talking about, hey, it sucks that they clip podcasts, clip little parts, like we'll do on this one, and put out beef for sure. He's like, but they clip it, but if you listen to the long conversation, there's more nuance and like the person. And Maron's about to pat himself on the back.
Yeah, we call that aggregating in the business. They've aggregated a part of your podcast. Yeah.
I think is different.
Yeah.
You and Rogan, I guess, came up.
Yeah.
Started right around the same time, right? And it was interesting to me.
I mean, he's in way better shape than you, but roughly around the same time.
People started criticizing, I don't know, Bernie or somebody else for going on Rogan.
Right.
It's like, well, why wouldn't you? Yeah, of course. Go. If you have time to go have a conversation with somebody.
Pause for a second. What a perfect moment. If I was Maron in that moment, I would have went, Bernie, that's right. Why did you help coalesce the Democratic Party around defeating Bernie and making sure that he couldn't be, even though clearly he was the most popular candidate, whatever. What a good moment to ask him about Bernie. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Then that is consistent with democracy. To me, engaging in a honest conversation that's not just yelling, not just trying
Obama
to score
telling
point.
Maron that he's anti-democracy. Like this,
Yeah.
Hey, you know that thing you've been complaining about for the last while? That's what democracy is. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
It is true though, because Maron's point is, and the other things. I wish you would have yelled at Trump.
That's exactly it.
Obama's like, no, don't yell.
You don't just yell at him. You have a conversation. And you find out your differences, like human fucking beings did for the entire duration of human civilization up until this point.
And I'll say this is my actual opinion on Maron, because I actually like Maron as an interviewer. If he was not angry and interviewed Trump, I'm telling you, he would get the most human interview of Trump ever.
Like, that's what really, because, like, and I want to give Andrew credit for this. The Schultz podcast, the Flagrant podcast with Trump, was the best piece of media I've ever seen Donald Trump do. Mm-hmm. It was incredible.
Well, The Apprentice season 1 is pretty great.
Absolutely. But, I mean, I'm just saying without
Omarosa.
Yes, but when you have Omar, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Are we comparing Akash to Omarosa right now and funny? Omarosa is going to lift that. You know what I mean? Omarosa is hilarious. So, anyways, point is that, wait, okay, I'm just kidding. But I don't remember. The best piece of media that he did was the Flagrant podcast. And it was because Andrew asked like this great human question that wasn't about politics. It was just about him, but it was like genuinely something that he observed. It was about his how much Trump's kids love him, which is like a kind thing to say, but it's not kissing his ass, because it was finding something you actually did like. It's not like the first question was like, I love deporting kids, you know, and it's like, you seem to be the best at deporting kids. It was just like, hey, you're in my house right now. I'm not going to immediately be a piece of shit to you and shut you down. Let me ask you a question that opens up. And of course, Maron does the same thing. Again, I'd like to reiterate, there's nothing wrong with what Mark is doing here, unless you've spent the last 6 months of marketing yourself as this is wrong. Sorry, continue. We'll watch a little bit more. I'm sure we're getting close.
But
yeah.
All right, I'm going to take time to listen, and then I'm going to kind of share how I'm thinking about things.
Still valuable.
That part of it is valuable, and the fact that we can have access to that, that we can in some ways participate in that conversation, I think is actually not the big problem. The problem that happens with podcasts is that they get all chopped up. And then it gets put up on the video stream.
It would be awesome.
Yeah.
The problem with podcasts now is they censor the N-word on YouTube. You can't even say the N-word anymore on a podcast. I watched this, Mark, you're going to like this. I watched this Joe Rogan compilation. He's saying the N-word 15, 16 times. It's just, they just let him say it.
It was hilarious.
It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And now, with these podcasts, you can't even say the N-word anymore without it getting all chopped up. Anyway, sorry, go on.
What is this grape thing?
Yeah.
Why do they keep saying grape and essay?
Why is it the only stereotypical black activity Obama likes to do is play basketball? That's all I'm saying. Is the sweatiest, like...
There might be others.
Understand that at one point during his presidency, Obama grinded his hips against Kobe Bryant playing defense. I just want to make that very clear. And by the way, and then who dies in a helicopter accident? Kobe Bryant.
I won't accept that Kobe Bryant's gay, though, because he's all man.
I don't think that Puff Daddy's gay.
I don't think he is.
By the way, we could all just probably, I don't even have to say that one, right? I think we could all probably pretty clearly accept what I'm even insinuating here. P. Diddy? Clearly, him and Obama fucked. If Anthony Jeselnik and Obama fucked, there's no way P. Diddy and Obama... There's no way that Obama hasn't gone to a P. Diddy party. Why do we all overlook that? For sure Obama's been at a P. Diddy party.
Probably.
Do you think that Obama has licked a jelly off of the Game's stomach at some point?
Oh, I did hear that Game might be gay, too.
I think, well, P. Diddy offered to take him go shopping, and he didn't say no. And I'll tell you, 50 Cent said no.
Said no.
So
Yeah,
that's all
true.
I can say. This is going to give me a genuine of all the things I've said, why am I weirdly less afraid of the government of Israel than that the game is going to get mad about this at some point if he hears it? But I do believe, much like I think that Israel probably killed Charlie Kirk, I believe that Obama at some point has licked a syrup or gelatin off of the game's body at P. Diddy's mansion with Jay-Z watching. I think all of those things in one thing has happened. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, let's finish.
Content economy.
Yeah.
The one thing that we did was always keep it
Oh, this
audio,
way,
so then we were kind of, it's harder to clip audio.
Correct.
And the people that listen to my show
Yeah.
are in for the whole conversation. And I think what you're talking about, which, I try to kind of understand or wrap my brain around, is that there's a tribalization happening in terms of, even if Bernie goes on Joe, that Bernie is focused and he knows what he wants
Some
to
shitty
say.
old man will complain
But
about it. Some shitty past his prime old curmudgeon and will say something about it. That's the fear he has to have. What a self-congratulatory. I love the idea of my show didn't contribute to the economy negatively because I never bothered videotaping it. Like, what a fucking weird way to pat yourself on the back.
And
Me and Cumtown, we were the last ones.
And I loved that it was just audio in a weird way, but I don't think he just did it because he's like, oh, this means we can't clip it.
Yeah,
I think they just didn't do video because people weren't doing video. And then when people started doing video, he went,
Whatever. I'll never have to eventually stop doing this because I pushed myself into irrelevance by not staying in with what everyone else is doing, and then I'll have Obama on one last time and then call it quits. That'll never happen. Anyways, all right, like 2 more minutes of this.
Sure.
When it's taken out of context, or it's solely looked at by a bubble of people,
Yes.
that the message can become obscured, right, and diminished.
Yeah, but look, there's this young state rep, James Tirico, who was on there a while back out of Texas.
Oh, that guy's good, right?
He's terrific, a really talented young man, and it does require.
I cannot
a certain-
get over, now that I've said it,
Yeah.
how much Obama looks like my gay stepdad, but black. It's really shocking how much now, the ears and everything. Really strange.
He had big ears.
Are gay people clones? Like, did they clone? Is there only like
That's-
100 different types of gay people and they clone them? And that was just
Maybe there's
my
maybe
stepdad was the white one and he's the black one?
Maybe that's a weird conspiracy theory that gays aren't actually like growing in number because of society and us like therapizing things to like realize you're gay. Maybe we're cloning gays and they're not telling people.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they don't, because clones don't enjoy pussy. Maybe that's what it is that if you come out, if you're cloned, you don't have that natural, I was birthed naturally, so I inherently like a salmon, like when the salmon goes back upstream, it has to find its way back to pussy in the end or whatever. Maybe gay people don't have that instinct because they're cloned.
Maybe.
It's entirely possible. I think we could probably end it there. On gay people are cloned. Very quickly, November 1st, I will be at the Royal Theatre in Gananoque, Ontario. Gananoque. It's where, if you're trying to drive to America from like the Kingston area, I'm pretty sure that's why that town exists. Gananoque. I'll be at the only thing to do. November 1st, Gananoque Royal Theatre. I will be at the Gordon Best Theatre, November 14th in Peterborough, Ontario. There probably will be an alternative entertainment source in Peterborough that evening. I promise I will try to be better, depending on what it is. It might be, there could be a CanCon band there, the Arkells. I'm not confirming the Arkells are in town. I'm just saying, generally speaking, whatever's happening that night, it's going to be roughly the Arkells versus me. And I promise you, my tickets will be cheaper. And then, even if you would like the Arkells more, my ticket price versus your enjoyment will be higher than your enjoyment of the Arkells versus what they're charging conversely. So even if you like the Arkells a little bit more, like once you have to pay for parking and all that stuff, it'll be better if you come to see me. December 12th and 13th, downtown Toronto, Yuck Yucks. And December 26th and 27th, Windsor, Ontario. I believe that's all the headlining dates I could confidently say after this episode will come out. Anything you want to say, Sanker? Anything I'm forgetting that I should say at the end?
Just that if you want to leave a argument for Rob to address,
we have a call. Should we do the call? We should do the call.
We should do the call. Okay,
yes.
I got it ready.
Yeah, we have a call to take care of. They'll start. There will be calls. The calls will come.
The calls will come.
The calls will come.
And yes, if you want to, before I start the call, if you want to leave an argument or just want to talk to Rob, say something to him, you can leave a voicemail at 1-833-ROBARG0, or you can write to roblovesarguing@gmail.com.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't push that hard enough, too. You can't email it if you're shy.
Yeah, if you don't want, you have a dumb voice.
And listen, we can do it one
work.
or two ways. Like, if this person seems like they want me to call and handle the argument for them, I could do that. Or conversely, like, if that's not what you're trying to do, if you just want advice on an argument and you want to personally handle it yourself, like I get it. If you're like, hey, my wife gangbanged a bunch of black guys, but like I genuinely, like, I don't know, I like my kid or something. You know what I mean? Like, and you're like, how do I handle that? Like, how do I tell her, like, no more black guy gangbangs, but you're like kind of shy about divulging your personal information, and you certainly don't want me to tell the whole world your wife gangbangs black guys by name, because then, you know what I mean, the black guys know how to find her easier. So, like, you don't want that. So, like, if it's a little personal, you know what I mean, I can understand. We can handle it through email. That way I don't have to directly talk to your wife and be like, I know you like gangbang black. You know what I mean? So, like, just if you're having a problem, reach out. I'm trying to make content out of you here.
Sure.
Go ahead.
All right, let's see. Oh, I should have prepared myself to properly.
Oh, that's perfectly okay. I forgot there was a call, so. Oh, and also, there's hundreds of more calls. We just didn't like them. I just want to be very clear about that. We're flooded. The phone lines are flooded every day, every night. It's these are just the calls I don't answer during the course of the day.
Sure.
That number is ringing off the hook all day and night. But the 9 to 5, I'll call and deal with them. You know what I mean? On the spot. Johnny on the spot. Yeah. Anyways, I'm glad you guys all watched Candace before this. I'm assuming by the time this episode's out, the Candace she'll be back from vacation, and the Candace episode will be she will have revealed Charlie Kirk's killer. I like that she was like that close. Like, that is what an entertainment landscape. And she's a human being; she can live her life. But it is fun that that's the entertainment landscape we live in. Candace Owens is doing one of the greatest pieces of investigative journalism I've ever seen. But she's like, but I did have 10 days in Barbados with my family, so Charlie Kirk's killer can wait till like the beginning of November. Remembrance Day.
Sure, and I'm sorry, this is acting up.
You're okay.
I could do a little quick. I have a reasonable solution for this.
If you'd want to just play it out loud too, that's fine.
Oh, it's not even that. It's I don't know. The app is acting up.
Got
but
it.
They mail it to me, so I can play it through the. Oh.
Man, your email must be just flooded with the hundreds of calls. I apologize about that. I didn't understand that we'd be doing that to you. Sorry, I keep bringing up Candace Owens too on top because I've got for a future episode, I'm going to explain right-wing pundits. So I'm looking at a whiteboard of heads. Anyways.
Part of me does think she hasn't gone insane, but I said this a long time ago that I'm like, I think, she's kind of in it for the money or whatever, like.
Right, like the Charlie Kirk, she's taking that personal, and she don't hate the Jews for the money, man. She does that for the love. She is in on Israel. I didn't want to not hate the Jews. I gotta remember that, like, not everybody gets my sensibilities yet. She doesn't really hate the Jews. That's been a misconception. It was crazy. I was talking to my my sister today, who is like a very like quite progressive, like liberal, I would say, and we were talking somehow like I brought up Tucker or excuse me Candace to her somehow, and she was also watching the Candace Owens stuff, and I was like, damn, like Israel is so unpopular now. It has really spread the content around in a circle
Yeah.
by process of elimination. I know who that guy is. Anyways, so we got the call. We're back. We're live with the phone call. I'm going to try to my best. You call in. You tell me what your argument is. I will formulate. I'll find the holes. I'll formulate your argument for you. And I can, if you want me to handle the argument myself, call the person. I'm more than happy to help that. But let's help this person, Anchor.
All right.
Hey, Robo, big fan. I hope you can help me out with this situation I'm having with this with my girlfriend right now. In her mind, I cheated on her, and she's having struggles with trusting me, even though she admits I didn't technically cheat on her. So, for context, about 4 months ago, well, we dated for 4 months, and then we broke up, and then we dated other people. And in that time, and then about 5 months later, we got back together. We had like a coffee date, and then said we are going to go out with each other again in 3 weeks. In that time, I had a fling with another girl, just, a side thing. And then I've been loyal to her ever since we started dating. We had our anniversary a couple months ago. She found out about it, and she's been pissed at me ever since. How do I get her on my side and win the argument? Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, right off the bat, I'd say the biggest issue you have coming out of the gate is it feels like he's lying to me. But just the way he speaks in a liar's tone, he's just a little seems unconfident in the story's timeline, even when describing it to a perfect stranger. But okay. Obviously, I mean, it's easy to formulate an argument to some degree because, like, that's not cheating. They weren't together at the time.
Right. But
So,
before you go,
Yeah.
just want to make sure, because I can read the transcript.
Okay.
I think the emphasis here, just for you to catch it, is they decided they were going to go on a date, and then in the waiting for that date to happen, that's when he slept with the girl.
So they broke up.
Yeah.
They decided they're going to do the second try date, which is, by the way, what a strange way to get back together. Like, that just doesn't seem like how you'd get back together. But you're doing a first date for the second time.
Right.
Kind of romantic in its own way,
Sure.
I suppose.
Well, it worked out, obviously.
And then so in the period of waiting for the date, how long did he was the moratorium on this date that this guy?
He says they met up. It sounds like it's date for months, broke up for months, met with each other,
Then planned a date.
just happened to be weeks later.
In that time.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, this is going to be formulating this argument with my girlfriend in the room is going to be tricky, but we're gonna remember this has nothing to do with me. Well, first of all, off the rip, he did not cheat, and I think this is where immaturity comes in conversations about things like this. You are able to both have not cheated, but also done something that hurt the other person's feelings, right? Like, that's ultimately what we're talking about. We can't, sir, we can't get overly bogged down in the details of the word cheating. What you really have to do is take it away from that, because you're not going to get anywhere when you continue to use that word. It's like when people are in programs for substance abuse or other types of ailments, right? There's 12-step programs for all sorts of things now. And I think one of the problems I have with 12-step programs is that eventually, if you're too into it, you associate that word alcoholic in whatever form. We call all of them alcoholic, right? Once you're an alcoholic, you don't really shake that yourself. It becomes sort of your title for yourself. And I think even going into this argument of, did I cheat, did I didn't cheat, I think right away that is a self-defeating argument off the rip, because you're just not going to look at a person you love in the eyes and go cheating and whatever, and keep saying that word and get to a place of healing. That word doesn't There's no healing in that word. What the first step he has to do in his argument is go, listen, I want to be very clear about this. I understand what I did hurt you. And by the way, this is not a so far, no manipulation here. I am in the clear. We're still being good guy right up until this point. Like, I haven't had to pull the nefarious move. It is simply, you're going to want to move the ball away from cheating. I think if she's willing to have a reasonable conversation with you, she's willing to go, I understand that is not actually cheating, right? I think that's going to be important. Where it needs to go is, I hurt your feelings, I betrayed your feelings, but I didn't cheat. So we've got to move, we're good? We got to move things over to that direction right off the starting point. So now, okay, I hurt you. What about this hurt you? You know, this is going to require, this is why if you'd like, I can get in touch with this person and like talk to them. What about this actually hurt you? Because I don't think it's necessarily a betrayal of trust. I don't think that there's a real trust betrayal here necessarily just yet. There was no back together. You're actually, in a way, see, here's where I would actually push back if I were her, is that there was a meetup. But the let's have our first again date scheduled does really kind of put him a little bit in the clear on this one, because there wasn't she could argue we met up, we talked about these things, and then you went and did this. You could argue, if I were her, hey, we had already had this conversation. His counter would definitely be, listen, we literally set a restart date for this entire thing. So, again, just to push this into not cheating, because she might push back on that. You want to be prepared for some pushback on that. So, I guess ultimately the question you got to ask yourself is, what is your goal from this, sir? Where do you want to get to this? Because she's not going to be happy with the decision. Ultimately, you know, you did what you did, and she's going to be upset about it. And you gotta ask yourself, what's the win? I think too often when people argue about things, they don't actually ask themselves what's the win and what's the win of the argument, right? I know this is Rob Love's arguing, but this is what I kind of want to take for people is that let's, and just to put a bow on the episode, go back to Palestine and Israel for a second. What is the win in Palestine and Israel, right? Because as you put the rubble back together and people are dying of disease and whatever, I don't think Gaza's feeling like they got a win right now. The win is when they're the world's greatest tradesmen. That's the win. But the point is, when this conflict was going on, what was the best thing for the Palestinian people? Not what did people feel best about going like, my team won, right? Those two things can be very different things. So what this guy really wants to do, if he loves this girl and he ultimately wants to stay with her, he likes the relationship that he's in and is willing to live with a feeling, a period of a feeling of hurt. You know, it sounds like this hasn't been that long yet, so he might still just be in the midst of her healing from the incident. But ultimately, what's the win? He's got to get the cheating label removed from this. You just have to. You didn't cheat, but you did hurt her feelings. If you're going to dig your heels in and go, I did nothing wrong, you have no place here. Like, you're now just bombing each other back and forth with ultimately no winner, right? You're just hurting each other back and forth. You're not really winning. This is not conceding. I also think that there's become a male trope of, oh, you just tell your woman what you want. It's, to use another analogy, it's the Louis C.K. versus the Aziz Ansari rape apologies. How you apologize is very important. If you apologize like Aziz and you just go, I'm so sorry, I can't believe that what I did, and I'm a different person now, it's insincere. If you remember the Aziz Ansari situation, he gave a girl red wine instead of white wine, and then she blew him, but she didn't really want to blow him. And she didn't say no, but she just blew him and then went yucky, and then that made him a rapist. And then with Louis, he apologized thoughtfully. He actually apologized for what he did. And to me, that's still the better strategy ultimately. Apologize for what you did, sir. You don't have to apologize for cheating. You do have to apologize for hurting her. This is going to make her, there's going to be feelings. If she had banged a guy the day before you guys had the dinner, you would feel the exact same way. So if you really want to ultimately access what it is that is in the apology, you need to sit down tonight. And by the way, you should have help with this. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to open up like 8 tabs on your computer. And by the way, do this privately, because if she catches you doing this, you're in a whole different problem. I want you to watch 8 separate cuck pornography videos. And not where there's kind of like 2 different kinds of cuck porn. There's the cuck porn where the guy that's getting cucked seems to enjoy it. And there's the cuck porn where the guy has to pretend like, oh, you're fucking my wife. So you've got to watch like 8 of the, you fucking my wife videos because I owe a rent or like whatever. Or I left the gang. So you got to watch 8 videos of that. And then I need you to access what that makes you feel. Imagine that's your girlfriend getting blasted by that black guy. And by the way, she's not cheating. Remember, focus. She's not cheating. She's just banging the dude or dudes the day before your first date again. You need to go inside and access what that makes you feel. And don't hit her. Do your best. She didn't actually fuck these guys. This is just a thought experiment. So you need to chill. You might need to take some time. Beat off to the videos. Do what you got to do to relax. But you need to access those emotions and apologize for what it makes you feel, ultimately. Because the hurt that you would feel in that moment is the hurt that she's feeling. Don't apologize for something you didn't do. You don't need to cave and say you cheated. You didn't. That's ultimately not what the crime was. Apologize for the crime. If you'd like me to help further, you didn't leave a callback number, but please feel free to call back in if you want me to call your girlfriend and tell her that like you also would feel sad if somebody banged her right before the dinner. But yeah, I don't know. I hope that was helpful. I hope you even watched the episode, or else that'll just be into the ether. But thank you very much. That's been Rob Loves Arguing. Please argue in the comments. Goodbye.